Francis, Kelly, Edie,
Tracy Marshall with Keller and Hutchins.
Tracy Marshall, Kelly. So I guess we're kind of dead line of the there. So let's go ahead and do a roll call. Greg,
Yvonne
here.
Jeremy
Here.
Greg here. Jasper
Here.
Bob here. Fred here. Phil here. Evan here. Ron here. Jay here. And Diane Boyd.
Yeah. Do we have a guest sheet going around for our guests?
Yes, it should be
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So next item on the agenda is the approval of the August 22nd, 2014 minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Well, now we're going to just make sure we're cool with everything. Anybody see any problems or anything with the minutes? I think I've got some notes from the minutes. Ron and Bob, everybody's fine with their, or your name was wrong on some of the minutes, everything. You're okay with everything now? Okay, let's see here. Diane's here?
Yeah.
Diane's here with her beautiful new hairstyle. Right. Let's see here. So, any other comments or anything with the minutes from the August 22nd meeting? Sorry, November 19th meeting. That was the online meeting. Okay, now we'll take a motion. Motion approved. For a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? President's reports. So as submitted, I basically my report was pretty straightforward. Did have an announcement on the NCSG discussion list. Now has a new monitor. It's Bloom. Bloom's right over here. Bloom. I wanted to thank Bo Tasso, and ironically, the man is here for helping us. Here, Bo. Come on up, Bo. We got you a $5 off coupon to the Herbert House. There you go. Thank you. Thank you. Right over Kevon's head. Take your time at the banquet. There you go. Yo,
we have an extra agenda.
I got one right here if anybody wants one. Anybody need an agenda? There we go. I can move around here. I'll get one to you. Oh, here's another one. Anybody? Go, Steve.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
well.
you very much.
All right. Moving forward. So next item is Treasurer's Report, as submitted by Ron Rust. Ron, you want to give us kind of a little lowdown on your report there?
Sure. Fortunately, everything's on track. And some things that might look interesting in the future. Right now, it seems that our retention rate for NCSG members is above average, and that is all good. It's going to be interesting to see. Part of the reason for that is because people aren't getting as big a bill this year. So we'll see what happens when the big bill comes in September for everybody, and we may want to try to think about doing something to reach out in August to let everybody know that it's coming in September and to know that we love them and care about them deeply.
Especially in September.
Right, especially in September. And other than that, the convention income seems to be doing very well. We're going to be ahead of last year, which is great. As long as expenses fall in, which they should fall in line as they are so far. And even though the booth sales are down, we should still be up compared to last year. Other than that, the cash flow is doing what it does. We'll just roll over the news. There's nothing unexpected there. We've talked about it all before, and we'll just see how it keeps going. And as I've said before, it's always difficult to compare year to year because we move the convention from month to month. And now with the dues roll over, it's even more so. So overall, everything looks bright and shiny. Everything looks on track. Appreciate everybody's diligence, especially the staff and the board members on our expenses. And everybody's keeping all that in mind, and that's a big help. And if anything comes up, we'll talk about it then.
Everybody been getting the financial reports that are sent out on the dashboard, everything? No other questions, comments? Anything? Okay, so with that, I'll make a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
Motion.
That'd be Edmund. Second by Greg. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Let's see here. Executive Director's report. You want to give us kind of a lowdown on your report, Francis, please?
Just saying that I'm really excited to hear our keynote speaker tomorrow. I don't know how many people have read the book. No? Okay. It's a very, Jeremy's almost done it. It's a very inspiring book. It's a quick read. I believe she's bringing books for everyone at the convention tomorrow, so everyone will have a copy. It's almost like a Dr. Phil moment.
It's a secret though, so don't tell the members. Except for all of you that are here.
Everyone watching this on YouTube. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a very inspiring book. We've also, NCSG and CSIA jointly purchased a van. So we have a new van at the tech center to haul students around in. It's got a really cool wrap on it. We had a designer do for us and stuff. So if you haven't had a chance, it looked a lot better before we drove it here and it got all the salt and snow on it, but it still looks pretty sharp. So if you get a chance to check it out, we're hoping to be able to pull it into the trade show floor.
With all the salt.
Well, we got to go get it cleaned before we do that. But, so if anyone borrows it and drives it, do not fill it up. It has to stay a quarter of a tank in order to be able to pull it in. So don't be nice and fill up the tank for us. It's appreciated. And we've also started the last few issues of sweeping around the tech center because a lot of people don't get a chance to come to the tech center and see what goes on there. As board members, you do. We have some guests that come in and students, but most people don't get to come there. So Darcy had the idea of starting around the tech center. So it just shows like what's going on there and people that come in and activities. And there really is a lot that goes on. It's kind of a fun place. If you get a chance, come on and visit.
Let's see here. Looks like we had a booth at Inspection World. Any comments on that? Darcy, you were there, weren't you?
Yeah, I was there to represent the guild. Us and CSIA were there in Inspection World. We had Mike Segerstrom the first couple of days was working in CSG booth with me. And home inspectors really loved him because he's a tech guy and he could get down to the nitty gritty of all of their questions. But it was all overall really well received by all the home inspectors. A lot of them just wanted to know where they could find their local chimney sweep. I got a lead on our first member in North Dakota. So from a home inspector, took some stuff back to his one chimney sweep he knows in all North Dakota to try and get him to be a member to stay in the industry. So might hit all 50 states yet, but overall it was really good.
I kind of just bled over to the director of marketing report. So your report was like Darcy sometimes with all the pictures and coloring areas. So anyways, go ahead with the trade show. Magazine and all that jazz.
Yeah, so obviously the bulk of the stuff that I've been working on the last few months is what you'll be seeing and experiencing this week with convention. In addition to that, we also just completed for the January issue the redesign of Sweeping Magazine. So we're trying to make it a more modern, updated look. We'll be tweaking it as we go along the next few months based on your guys' feedback and trying to get some new features added to it as we go along as well.
And you want to tell us about the convention app?
Yes, the convention app is new this year. We did that instead of the flash drives we had previously. That way it's a little more interactive and I can change information if need be and send out notifications to everyone. The convention app, people are able to use it on their cell phone, on their laptops, on their desktop computers, on their tablets. Just makes information a little easier to access, and if we have a change to the schedule, a change in room, I can just push it out really quick and everyone can receive that information on their phone.
Yeah, so, that question. So it's really cool, the app, basically, I have an Apple device, and all I did was go to the App Store and just typed in the NCSG, and it came right up, downloaded right there, put in a profile, put in a picture, got a little notification today about some meeting at 2 p.m. or something, so I don't know what that was, maybe she'll be there.
Plus, if you share your profile, you'll have everybody's phone
Yeah.
numbers, emails to contact.
Yeah. All the handouts are on there. I mean, what else does that thing
The
do?
trade show map is on there. If you hit the vendor's booth, we'll take you to their website, give you information about the exhibitor and there's some information there. So
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. So download it. Okay, let's see here.
Is it only at Google?
It's on both app stores, the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store.
oh, it's not on Amazon.
All right.
Jim, just one thing, a joke that it always comes up every year if you're looking for rooms.
I'll show you how to do it with the browser after the meeting.
Where somebody can post if they, want a roommate or somebody posts if they're looking for a room, because it seems like it's asked there every year.
Sure.
Something to add to the.
We could look up, but
Okay.
what are you thinking about? I'm talking about for rooms. And poor guy needs a room.
Francis, you're all for it.
All right. Okay, legal report as submitted by Art.
And the legal report is as submitted. One matter we're continuing to work on is the formation of a new 501c3 scholarship foundation. So we're working with Fred. We've drafted very preliminary organizational documents, and once those are finalized and we file the actual articles of incorporation, the entity would be an existing corporation, and after that, the intent would be to file for tax exemption with the IRS. So we're still working on the details of the committee on that, so we'll report back at the next meeting.
Probably one of the most difficult projects that I've seen in a long time come across the board table. I think that everybody's doing a great job. I think good job, Francis. Good job, Francis. You get all that fun stuff too. All right, so let's see here. That's we're gonna have director's reports now. So we can go region by region. We got Phil Mitchell. Phil, anything outside of the box here?
No, I'd just like to say that I've known this all day, and it's been an honor and a privilege to work with Lloyd, the staff, with my constituents. I see two of them hiding out. That's all.
All right. Region 2 is vacant at the time. Region 3, Ron Rust.
What I've already stated here, I think we're rolling along the southeast. Everybody's having a banner year that I talked to, and everybody's just a great time to be a chimney sweep.
Now, you had a, was it North Carolina Chimney Sweep annual event that you would call me about and everything? How'd that go?
Went really, really well. They have a great event every year, and there was excellent attendance last year at, I already mentioned this before, but at the gathering, we had 70 people, which is up from where we started around 25 to 35. And it just keeps growing and growing. The North Carolina isn't growing as much, but it's got a steady 50 to 60 people every January. So they just have a, Virginia's got an event coming up next month. Is that right? Yeah. And we're looking forward to seeing a good turnout there too. That's more or less y'all's annual event, isn't it, Jim?
Yes.
Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, Jim always puts on good.
Right. And then just after that, so the region has a lot going on, and especially a lot of education, and I'm sure every region does.
Yeah. So anybody here see those people and jump on the bus. All right. Region 4, Kevon. Kevon contacted me and said he had so much stuff to talk about in his region, he couldn't put it all on paper, so I wanted him to make sure he had to talk about it.
Well, thank you, Jim. Okay, I'm here as well. Basically, speak with colleagues. Some of them are new, some of them are reinstated members.
have to say that everyone, just like what Ron and here, that was up this past year that I've spoke to, with the exception of one that he's kind of had a hard life the last few years anyhow. But most companies I spoke to were scheduling about a month to 6 weeks out. That was during the heat of the season. And it seems like they're starting, our clients are starting to invest in properties that maybe they purchased in the down market, at least around Michigan, Ohio, and Indiana areas. The recent snowfall throughout the region is obviously a burden that we're unused to, but it has brought up some safety concerns. That was some of the questions I was met with. Do you guys reschedule when you go to a house and there's so much snow? A lot of questions. It seems like there's some people hungry for, what do you do? And whether just want to cooperate and don't want to mess up your relationship with the customer.
You didn't have all the answers wrong. All right, we'll work with you on that. Okay.
Thanks.
All right, Region 5, Jasper.
Pretty much as submitted. The one thing that I just noticed isn't in here, with regards to the Wisconsin Chimney Sweep Guild. For those of you that don't know about Mark Wiener, he is up and at it and doing really well after his surgery. I actually got to spend a lot of time with him face to face. We had our guild meeting at his store, and you wouldn't guess that he had gone through what he did. He's 100% back to himself. So that's really good news. And we are going to continue to start the lead seminar at Mark's shop. Going through work bands, we're going to continue at my shop in May. Everyone's all, of course, was invited. We're going to set some chimney fires, burn some stuff down behind my building. So
You're going to do the lead training for it.
It's going to be, no, it's not going to be
Bob Arlen.
Yes, it will be Bob.
And then I noticed in your report we had some unhappiness at the editing of sweeping. Any detail on that?
I guess on one of the covers or on one of our, there was some grammar mistakes, and I personally didn't see it. I don't send read sweeping cover to cover to look for stuff like that. But
Okay, so they're talking about basically proofreading.
Yep, and I did mention that we had changed the format, and a lot has gone on in the last year. Organization, but
There are actually one or two things in this issue that aren't exactly like proofreading. There you go. We'll see you later and thank you.
Yeah, if you want to highlight that and send it in, I'll encourage everybody to do that
I
too.
appreciate the proofreading that's done in my reports because they always look more professional than the way I send them to them. So I applaud our staff.
Yeah, you see, when I write my president's report, usually it's on an iPhone or an iPad, and the autocorrect is very sad. So I imagine they.
Here's the deal: $50. People that can find the mistakes. You're going in a drawing, and you're gonna win. We put them in there just for that.
There you go. And that's funded by White Glove Chimney Sweep. You're a leader again.
Bob is going to say well for us.
Speaking of Bob Ferrari, Region 6.
Region 6.
Looks like it's very exciting where you are at.
Yeah, it's so exciting. Our temperatures there are about 30 degrees above normal. It's the second year in a row we haven't had winter. And I mean no winter. The ski resorts are closed. Snow levels above 8,000 feet. There's just nothing around. It's another drought year. Water table is way down. We're over a year behind in rain. So it's going to take a whole bunch to catch up. Last year, it snowed in December, and then it rained at the end of February, and then it didn't do it again until last December. And then it did it again. It snowed and stuff at the beginning of December, and then there's nothing until about a week and a half ago. And we got a bunch of rain for 1 weekend, and now there's nothing again. So yeah, people are just not using. In our area, it's not fireplaces. It's wood stoves for heat, and nobody birds. 73 degrees when I got home on Sunday. So yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people say it's a good thing, and then lots of people say it's not a good thing.
Yeah, we'll be happy to mix it up, and, average it out, trade you for a while. We need it. I mean, I put in my report in Alaska, they had to change the Iditarod because it was too hot. We had to move it because it was thawing too much. So it's weird weather patterns, really odd. Washington, Oregon are still wet as usual. Southern Oregon was dry, and all the way down into Nevada, Arizona, all those places are just dry as anything. So do your dance. We could use it. There's legislation in California. I know the central state had 70 mandatory no burn days last year. That really affects the sweeps. Just say it doesn't matter. EPA phase 2, it doesn't matter. Pellet stoves, it doesn't matter. A lot of push for gas going on in those areas. So there's legislation out there. It's affecting things that sweeps do. Air duct cleaning is starting to get clamped down on it. So it requires creativity, which we have. And you're all invited to the Naked Bike Ride Day in June. Go to Portland. Sure. Catch the Region 6 report.
Sponsored by Naked Bike. Okay, supplier directors, by Edmund.
Not really anything to add, just, as Phil said, just want to say thank you very much for everyone here. It's been an amazing opportunity. Just, it's such an incredible organization with just we can meet anywhere. It's been an honor to be part of it for a few years now. Thank you for that. And thank you.
Oh, and happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday, Edmund. Let's do a happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Edmund. Happy birthday to you.
Now, if somebody pulls a cake
Wanna make
and
the
somebody
apple?
pop out of it.
Awesome. All right, committee reports.
Ashley's already sitting there.
Bylaw report. I know we had, I think we just voted on some bylaw changes, didn't we?
Yeah, they were approved by the membership by approximately 93% voting in favor of bylaw changes, which essentially will allow us to do electronic elections in the future. To do so.
Awesome. All right.
This is just for Jasper to sign.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah, do we need to do that now or will we do it later?
We'll get it anytime.
Ethics committee report by Andy Raycroft. I think,
No, we already.
Andy, you're.
Yes, it's not here. It's great. Yes, so.
Yeah, so looking at that report, basically we've had 2 NCSG ethics complaints. One was reviewed and found not, basically not warranted proceeding is what it says. And then the other complaint is in process and will go before the committee upon receipt of a reply from the chimney sweep. So there we go. Let's see here. Governance report submitted by Jay Walker.
I didn't see it in print, but basically, got a good turnout with candidates this year. We had some people run. I encourage those that did not win the election that hopefully will stay active and with our efforts and also consider running again. As a director, I just wanted to remind everybody to please always be on the lookout for potential candidates that you think make good leadership for the board. And Jeremy's asked me to stay on as governance chair for another year, so I think him to do so. Please direct him to.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you, Jay, for sticking around.
Jeremy,
Yes.
how are we doing on the electronic, doing it via email? How's that going? Via email?
That was the bylaw change. I don't like how it's going along.
Yes.
It just started, but from my understanding, we're like a third party. And we don't have to do that, but that's what we're leaning towards, making it easier. I think that is better voting turnout.
We have a name for the company we're going to use.
We do. I couldn't tell you the name of the company.
So, but it's not in-house, it's.
Yeah, yeah, so it could be,
Third party.
yeah, a third party, and it would be a secure system so that they would validate that, only one person is voting and only vote once and things like that.
Awesome. All right. Let's.
Oh, no.
You want to look at that before? Very good. Okay. Hey, Steve. Let's see here, moving along, government affairs report.
You can see, it kind of moved from a phase system to step 1 and step 2 for emission limits. Step, it's 4.5 grams per hour of operation for catalytic and non-catalytic stoves. This is still being tested by stacking 2x4 inside the stove, so you can switch the legitimacy of that. And then for step 2, 5 years after the effective date of the rule, it's 2 grams per hour for cat and non-cat stoves. Read the rest, it's still testing is a big issue, and I just got something from Rachel Feinstein, who's the HPDA's Director of Government Affairs. I'd like to read it, just give a second. At this point, EPA is just proposing steps 1 and 2. But they are legally mandated to come back every 8 years to update the NSPS. They've updated the NSPS in 1998, 8 years after it was amended in 1990, but they obviously let time slip away. I don't think they'll come back to it 8 years from now, but they will do it sometime in the future. I haven't read the section about how it's done yet, but we will be reviewing our legal team's analysis. Just for seeing more information. So it's kind of befuddling, at least it is to me. But there's nothing going into the House and Senate at this time that I know of. So.
And then you had an announcement about someone replacing.
Oh yeah. Mike Elliott has volunteered. I knew the one that said, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, right. The bar, getting in the bar. All right, let's see what's over here. International Relations Report by John. John walked in, didn't he? Hey, John. Want to go over here? Anything with your report? Right here.
Nothing to add.
Good.
And actually, I'm pretty happy to say we have 26 international guests this year. I think that's the largest.
Pretty amazing. Awesome. And if anybody needs help communicating with any of them, John is fluent in many languages.
That one here.
All right. Membership committee report.
Right, as of, I don't know, a while ago, Debbie, we have anything else. We have about 36 registrants who haven't ever come. And 16 of those joined the guild, 20 haven't. So we're going to be talking to them, just, right over the balcony there on level 2. You can look at that historic building that this is built around. And that's where we meet with them, right? Jeremy, see that? We meet with them right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Montgomery House, is that what it's called?
Thursday. 6 p.m.
Thursday, 6 p.m. Everybody at this table needs to be there, please.
And so, not only to welcome the new members and really welcome them, but also to reach out to those that need a reason to go ahead and join. I've had a little exposure, hopefully, by then. Some of them may just be coming for one day or for just overnight, but I think that's great that we've got so many coming. And then what Darcy had said as far as reaching out to the associated industries, home inspectors in this case, I forget what else you're going to, realtors or?
We don't have realtors on the schedule, but we're going to look into doing some smaller events. We decided to skip national realtors because conference this year, because from the people I've talked to that work in the realty industry said it was, a big party and harder to get their opinion. But I talked to some home inspectors at the last show that have talked to realtors about chimneys and stuff. So we're going to work on a plan there. We'll be at HBPA. Tom Spalding and I, the CSIA director, will be teaching. And we'll be at NCSG, we'll be at regional HBPAs. And for Sweeping Magazine, we'll be at the Masonry Hearth Association event this year as well. Actually, now we're going down. Masonry Heater Association.
What we're trying to do is reach out and build some relationships with like home inspectors. If the home inspector is writing in his report, you need the chimney inspected, and they're promoting professional association membership members as well as certified members. That begins to help build value for the membership, and that's why we're reaching into those. And that, it'll take a little bit of time to get traction, but more and more, that's what we want to aim at. So.
Is anybody else going to fill in with the hash sheet on the realtors here?
With the ASHI, didn't you?
I mean, I might get the guy, home inspectors. Yeah.
Well, in my area, in my region, each of us can look at our own region. I know that I've had the California realty inspector, Priya, come in and actually in my shop did seminars for them. You can do that, reach out to them locally. I also spoke at their regional event last year, which was up in Northern California, and used the CS. I entered it down in the CSA slides from 680 slides or whatever ridiculous amount it is, to 20 or so that you really need. But there's a whole bunch there. It's all ready to be edited. You can take what you want for the presentation, and not really have to do a whole lot of preparation. And the whole room was packed. They were really interested. So, you know, I encourage you to go to those. Same with the realtors. The realtors have meetings all the time in different regions and counties. There's always associations, and you can show up there and end up getting on the speaker platform for them. And all of that helps build the association, because when a lot of them belong to professional associations. So we don't have to convince them of why somebody who belongs to one is better than somebody who doesn't. They already understand that. We can communicate that clearly within ourselves. So I'd encourage each of us and all of you watching out there, television land, to reach out into your own region and reach out to these associated places. That's really where we can leverage membership.
John, do you have something to say?
Yeah, just add to what Bob said, like he's done his local career. Just on Long Island, and the surrounding areas, I've done 4 different associations using the CSI program. Also this year at ASHI, I did 2 different programs. And the rooms were just standing room only both times. Even at the local events, you still get 100, 120 people who surround the rural New York metro area. And it's real easy. I'm sure there CSI, you can throw your words in for NCSG. I don't see a problem with that. I probably want to speak to either the president or I think Steve Gale.
You're the president of CSI.
I'm Steve Gale.
Okay.
And with not only has CSI done the ASHI, they've done NAHI, which is another one, and an individual on private home inspection education group. So the word for professional chimney sweeps is good for chimney sweeps is getting out there.
Awesome. Anything else on that? Okay. Moving forward, NFPA 211 report submitted by Jim Brewer. I think we didn't have. Okay, so we didn't have. And does that go on to the NFPA 54 too? Okay, so we'll find Jim and hunt him down and get some reports from him. But I did have something to say about that. So on the NFPA 211, their big meeting is in Boston, March. I think it's 17th, 19th, or 18th, 19th. 17th is St. Patrick's Day. We found it odd they're having it in Boston on St. Patrick's Day, or around St. Patrick's Day. So here's the deal. If we have any board members or incoming board members who would like to go and represent us at that, I will basically pay for that trip from my president's fund, because basically I'd like to see if we have somebody that's closer than I am, go to it, save us a few bucks in travel expenses. If not, I'm more than happy and willing and ready to go to represent us there. Anybody throwing that out there right off the bat? Any newbies? No, I think I think that was my travel dates. I think it's the 18th and 19th, because I was coming back on the 20th. It's going to be a week-long adventure for me, and I mean, I'm cool with it, but I figured, you know what, we've got to have somebody up there that, you know, might want to go and represent us. So, and I've got money in my president's fund to do stuff like this. I'm more than happy to.
I'll have to check. Nothing I can do is I can ask Bill since somebody there.
I want someone from the board. Yeah, to represent NCSG. It's in March. Yeah, so and that's fine. That's fine. Just throwing it out there. But like I said, I'm more than willing to go. So it's spring break for my kids. So I might drag one of them or two. Yeah, it's exciting times. Yeah. Come on, kids.
Do we have anything to reach out to find out who the members of NFPA and what their voting stance and how they feel about this issue?
I have.
It's all,
It's all inside the NFPA 211, all the committee members are listed right there.
and how they voted and everything.
Right, and I'm not sure how many people, I mean, I know it was a heck of a deal for me to get on the NFPA website and make the comments. It was just insane. And so we did the kind of our own ballot thing. We had, what, 200? Yeah, we did our own petition. And we had a real good response because it's so darn easy to do. Was there more than 250 or something like that, 500? Yeah, so basically, I mean, obviously here in a few weeks, I'll be assembling all of this stuff and have better facts and everything, so. Okay, NFPA 31, John, you got anything?
Not to add, I got a meeting the week before that NFPA.
Are you on to that? NFPA 31?
No, I'll be there the week before with 31.
Good.
Is it, can Mark Strother, that's the NFPA 211, just there?
Mark, are you going to the NFPA 211?
Not going to it, but you guys have a report from your thing, right?
I'm not sure that we can even do much there. I mean, if it's considered lobby.
I think you're gonna be present. It's a real fine line.
You can be appointed by the NCSG president as a director.
Representative.
Yeah, representative. Yeah, that's my way.
I personally have to speak at the Virginia Guild thing on that. It's at the same time.
How about if you do the Virginia Guild thing at the NFPA?
But if you're looking to have somebody represent, let's talk about it after this. And if you still need somebody.
Well, basically, I was looking for someone. I mean, you know, I'm not the biggest code thumper on earth. I'm not really. That isn't a real strength I've got. But I mean, if I've got everything and I have a week to assemble it all, I can become pretty persuasive. You know, I don't know. I mean, we're just a really small little voice in the whole thing, but it's good to have, you know, an entire association represented at something like this. So,
I believe we might have Eric Adair from that assembled that paper there, but I'm not sure who else.
Okay, man.
Is Jim Brewer interested in going?
He's going to be there.
He's gonna be there.
He's gonna be there.
Looking at just that.
Yeah. So we got Jim. You know, he's on the committee. So, yeah, I know he's going. So, all right. Some questions? Yeah.
How does it work with it if they, and I understand, is that they're gonna want grates and glass doors, UL listed. How would that even happen? I mean, yeah, fireplaces, masonry fireplaces are all different, so I'm not testing it in one particular thing. If they come out and make a statement that they need to be UL listed, how can they even put teeth to that and make it work?
So unless someone has a magical answer to some of these questions, we do have a panel discussion here Wednesday, maybe? Okay. So at some point, check the app. And these are
Rotten Tomatoes.
and these, yeah, pretty right. It's going to be a very awesome panel. It really is. So you bring those questions with you. Yeah, bring those questions with you. So we won't figure it out today. That's really bad. Okay. Site selection report by Francis.
Yes, Darcy recently put together an RFP for the 2017 convention. We have a list of about 25 places or so that will be sent out to. Before I came here, we sent the RFP to Art to review and make sure that everything was there. And he just, in the last couple of days, gave the thumbs up. And so we'll be sending that out soon. When we start to get responses back, I'll work with Jeremy to put together a committee and start submitting that out to committee members to kind of create a short list.
And Edmund, I have to get you on my radar for the SOP for the,
That's some time, France.
awesome. And if you listen, the reason we record, one of the main reasons we record a lot of these is like last night, I was laying in bed trying to remember what all we talked about in our last meeting, everything. Go to YouTube, and there it is. And you rambled a lot on there on YouTube. Like what all needs to go in that. So if you want to go back and listen to that. Tell you like it is, brother.
There's actually, there is a lot, that's a lot.
And then I also had a note about Fred having an SOP for AV, I believe. So you still have that information. You did say it. I've got proof.
It's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube, my friend. Really, everything on YouTube is absolutely true. Okay, let's see here. And then, next year, we're looking at Orlando, and the year after that, didn't we kind of have something up in the year after that? Potentially, and then the year after that, we might be going to.
Jeremy wants to go to New Orleans.
I want to go to New Orleans, guys. And everybody else I'm talking to. Okay, so just throwing it out there. Thank you. Yeah.
Are you looking at the same time frame? Or are you thinking about going a little later?
We have, for the 2017, we're putting out a March date as our first option. A February date is our second option. Keeping in mind we have to stay a couple of weeks away from HPBA, and their dates are set for the next 15 years essentially. So.
Moving forward, Technical Advisory Council report. I've got nothing new to report at this time. Let's see here, Apprenticeship Committee report. I saw Jim in here. Jim, you have anything to go on that?
No, Ashley and I talked and felt it would be probably best to wait until the CSIA rewrite is finished so we can just incorporate it in clean.
Awesome. Okay. Then Scholarship Committee report, short and sweet there, Fred.
Not a whole lot to say, a lot of things up in the air.
Okay.
Like I said the last time, when you get involved with the federal government, don't get in a hurry. But we do have a meeting tonight with Tracy, and we've got a lot of stuff to go.
All right. No, John said he didn't have to. Okay. So here's the consent agenda. So I'd like to make a motion to accept the consent agenda. Great, boss. Second, Fred. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, motion passed. Moving on to.
Who was the second?
Oh, sorry. Fred.
Bob first, Fred second. Greg first.
With two G's at the end.
With two Ds. I will get that fixed.
G plus three G's. Yeah, it's under three G's.
Okay. Moving on to old business. Also, not right now. I don't think it's live feed. Is it not like?
Yes, it is a live feed, but I don't believe anyone is watching except for my account and Tom.
The only reason I asked if there's questions, if we're on there.
I got you. Okay, moving on to old business, consolidated agreement and signing by presidency exhibit A.
That's your, it's not, it's a separate text.
So did anybody have a chance to look this over? Yes. Ed?
Okay, I have a question on
This is all going to this one right here.
number 4, expense sharing discounts, item B. And it's a little confusing, that's why I think maybe we need to have it rewritten a little bit. We go down to beginning on, and I see it was crossed out January 1st, 2015. Annual discount amount will be $72 to $450, which shall be paid in 12 equal installments of $6,037.50. And then it says by June 1st, we'll be notified if there's going to have to be a change, and that change, I assume, takes place on September 1st. The only thing is, if we're making 12 payments of that amount, that'll be, 12 months from January to December. But then we're gonna change it in September, so are we still paying that 6,000 September, October, November, December? And then also making a change, so that would be, according to the agreement, we have to be allocated.
Will it begin in January?
What's that?
If you made a change in September, would it begin in January?
I don't know, and so it says beginning, they're changing it, it says,
It's like making a retroactive, going back. The way I read it, and I'm, talking about another line here, but the way I read it, I negotiated change in September to begin in January for the 12 months, so you've got September of 2014. You're right. In September of 2012, obviously that's passed. Is that your point? That's the point. Okay. Okay. I thought you were talking about the differential. Yeah, it's almost like 14 has been changed to 15. But if it's September 15, they may change. We couldn't take effect until January. So that's 16 or 16. That's right. That's 9%.
It's just a matter of changing the month.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. Does that address your concern?
yeah, that's just some
There's a
clarification of your actual wording.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Actually, just one more. Is there any reason, can I just ask you why the CSA wanted that kept separate from the whole agreement? And so the whole agreement stays the same, but that is totally separate?
At our last board meeting at the tech center, I raised the question, where did this whole thing originate? And apparently originally the idea was that we would monitor half of the discount that NCSG members are getting and take half of that and just kind of split it. It hasn't been 50-50 for quite a few years. I went back the last 3 years, it's been in the low 30%, which is to CSIA's detriment by whatever 18% or whatever it would be overall. So that's why I raised the question, can we look at the numbers, get back on track and get back to this 50-50 thing? So that's the origin.
Otherwise, just as a way of background, in case anyone has forgotten this, all of these agreements that are in this consolidated agreement exist currently as separate agreements, and they're kept in different places and people forget about them. So either this board or CSIA board, one of the two, had requested that we would pull all those individual agreements and put them in one document. And all those individual agreements that are out there right now are technically expired. So we're just kind of going month to month on existing agreements.
Anything else, Bob? Did you have something? All right. Well, we're not going to, we can't approve it. That's looking good. Changes, I guess we can mark it out. Okay. All right, so we're going to make a motion to approve once amended. Bill Lynch, second. Ron Rust, all in favor? Okay, opposed? All right. You got it. That is yours. Souvenir. All right. Signing of bylaw changes as passed by membership. We can pass that around.
Thank you very much.
All right, new business. I added a little deal to the new business. We call it over budget items and approval by the board. I kind of wrote this up on my notepad here. So get it here. I tried to text it and turn it off for everybody, but it didn't work. So, let's see here. So basically, there it is. So basically, my big concern, now that I've got a budget as president too, is basically what I'm proposing is a budget stop on spending So basically, when you have a budget, you set that up right around budget time. And basically you want to stay, the whole purpose of the budget is I'm going to need this much money for this X amount of time. And then as you're spending that money and turning in those receipts, our finance director, Megan, will basically gives them their account budget balance essentially. And what I like, and I think if it's getting close or anything, you basically getting close, correct? Okay. So if we have any time where someone is getting extremely close and they're told, hey, you're getting extremely close, or we go over budget, or the person goes over budget, I'd like to see that approved by the board before we reimburse. So basically, if that comes up, we need to take a look at it, the board needs to approve it before they reimburse. So this basically is going to put an end to any budget surprises and create a responsibility in spending for our members' dues by anybody that has a committee or what have you. And especially by me, if I'm having to travel a little too much, I really got to watch it because I wasn't planning on going to Boston. I was planning on doing some of the stuff that pops up throughout the year. So any discussion on that?
You want to put like over 10% over budget by a percentage?
I'd say right at the 0 point basically. So let's say you come back from a trip on this and you've spent $200 extra. Basically, that needs to come up to us before Megan reimburses, and you might be on the hook for it. It's its responsibility.
I was just making suggestions, sir.
Understanding your
10% one way or the other, it didn't seem like that. 0 is good. I'm good with 0.
Whenever anybody has a budget, there's like a goal, and that's their set amount. And I understand that, but I don't want to tie their hands too much for having maybe the way you worded it was it's almost it's got to get reimbursed if you go over it. If you approve it. Makes sense. But if somebody does see they're getting close and needing to go over it, it seems like they should be able to have a phone call or email to the president.
Right.
And then you can get approved.
And that's perfect. And I'm not saying that we're putting a halt if someone goes, oh my gosh, hey, I'm really, we're really rolling with this year, and I'm going to need an extra $1,000. Well, that's fine. We just, but as a board, we need to approve that and give them the money, and everybody needs to be in the loop so we don't get to the budget meeting and go, oh my gosh, what the heck happened here? Wait a second. Because by then you find out that Jasper hasn't spent any of his money. Well, we can see if he's going to spend any of it. We can reallocate it to there, and that person has their $2,000 extra. Bingo. There we go. So, yeah.
Makes sense. I mean, it's good.
So what would the approval process be? The next board meeting? We'll call a special board
I don't think we
meeting
need to call a
or-
special board meeting. It'd be more of just a send out to the list. Hey guys, this is kind of where we're sitting on this, and we just want to make sure everybody understands that this is where it happened. This is what's happening, and that Megan and Ron are reallocating to this. We approve, an extra $2,000. We found it from that type thing.
I was gonna take it from meeting forward, because it's a long ways to the last.
Yeah. All right. So,
Region 2, take Region 2.
So, do we need to make a motion on something like that, or do we need to write something up more firmly for the next meeting and have some sort of a system for it, or what would you like to say?
I think we need to make a motion to approve it.
Okay.
Something written out and put in the policy document, so that it's.
You want to consider it being an executive meeting, not having it as hard to get the whole board.
And that'd be fine too. That'd be fine too. I want some responsibility on everything, because like I said, I'm looking at, when I set my budget, it was for a certain amount of trips, and now I'm starting to look at 2 extra trips I'm going to have to make, and I've got to make sure I'm paying attention to this. I can start, oh man, this can get expensive fast. So,
Yeah, I know sometimes the really don't run quite as fast.
Sure. So one more time on the motion.
You need to have what does the motion say?
Right. And then we'll just well, how about we draft something and have something probably put on this.
How's that sound? Kind of like that.
And the other thing to that is just be real careful with your budgeting. That's the whole reason you need to sit down and try to plan trips and plan where you're going to spend money. And so keep that in mind, and we'll have that meeting in a couple of months, and when we do, Be diligent about that part of it.
Yeah.
Plan ahead.
Anyway, all right, moving forward. Election of officers, 2015, 2016. Basically, what we're looking for, the people that had the intent of running for president, vice president. I had the intent of running for president and vice president. Was Jasper. Jasper still had the intent. Ron for treasurer and Greg Boss for secretary.
I'd like to make a motion to nominate the following slate of officers. Jerry Biswell for president, Jasper Brandon for vice president, Ron Russ for treasurer, and Greg Boss for secretary.
Okay. So, let me get approval on that. And then any other nominations? Okay, so we're looking for that approval.
Motion.
Need a motion to move forward with that. Okay.
Who's first?
That was
Bill.
I made the number right. Edmund made the nomination.
Bob
Bob,
first.
you're right. Okay, all in favor, or do you want to do what?
Bob first to approve, and
The Bill.
Bill first to approve, Bob second to approve. Thank you.
Edmund, Edmund,
I made the motion.
Okay.
For the slate.
right?
Then we only need a second, correct?
Right.
No, you only need a
Edmund, Bob.
Edmund, Bob,
Edmund.
no first, second. Edmund, Bob. Okay,
So it looked,
I got it.
okay. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Yes.
I just, give me the names of, I got president, vice president, and who's the treasurer and secretary.
Okay, treasurer is Ron Rust.
Okay.
And secretary would be Greg Boss.
Okay.
The two Gs.
2 Gs.
3 Gs. All right. Pass. Anyway, yeah, it's a good one. Okay, let's see here. Seating of new directors. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Seating new directors. So, basically, what we do is take the guys off,
Yeah,
have this
sorry.
one sit down. Yeah, so. It's kind of backwards. We should have kind of done the resolution before that, yeah.
That's the way it's done last year, but we can switch it.
Let's switch it. Let's do the resolutions first, yeah. It's really awkward, you know.
Yeah, give up your seat.
We have assigned seating here, you know. Hi, Jim.
Heads up, I've got one piece of new business whenever you want.
Okay, I'll add it to your, to the end.
First resolution for everyone.
Whereas Edmund is an active, contributing, committed and long-term member of the National Chimney Sweep Guild. Whereas he has given generously of his time, talents, and energies to work with his fellow board members with a cohesive team to strengthen the American chimney service industry and benefit his fellow chimney sweeps by serving as a member of the National Chimney Sweep Guild Board of Directors for the period of February 11th to February 15th. Whereas he has shown a very real investment in the growth of membership in the National Chimney Sweep Guild and has provided excellent representation for supplier member companies, at times serving as an example to other supplier members. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Directors of the National Chimney Sweep Guild, on behalf of each and every member, gratefully acknowledges Mr. Couple Edmund his many valued contributions to the industry and his guild. He will be considered a lifelong friend of many, and notes with regrets his departure from the board because he's always known best places to dine. And be it furthermore resolved that the board of directors wishes Edmund great personal success, future happiness, and a long and wonderful life with his family. And may he have time to hunt, enjoy his family, who he misses immensely when he was on the road. Request that Edmund continue to support the National Chimney Sweep Guild and make himself available from time to time to the service of his fellow professionals.
All right, Edmund. We'll go ahead and move on to the second. We'll get ready for
Okay, this one's for Bill. Whereas Bill Mitchell is an active, contributing, committed, and long-term member of the National Chimney Sweep Guild. Whereas Mr. Mitchell has given generously of his time, talent, and energy to the members as a cohesive team to strengthen the American chimney service industry and benefit his fellow chimney sweeps by serving as a member of the National Chimney Sweep Guild Board of Directors for the period of February 2010 through February 2015. Whereas Mr. Mitchell has shown a very interest in the growth of membership in the National Chimney Sweep Guild and has been an excellent representation of the members of companies in Region 1, at times serving as an example to other regional directors. Now, therefore, we have resolved that the Board of Directors of the National Chimney Sweep Guild, on behalf of each and every member, gratefully acknowledge Mr. Mitchell and his many valued contributions to the industry of his guild. Always quietly giving, hosting regional events, and always caring and concerned about how others are feeling, and notes with regret his departure from the board. And be it further resolved that the Board of Directors wishes Mr. Mitchell great personal success, future happiness, a long and wonderful life with his family, and may he have the time to enjoy his grandchildren and rock it out with his bands of friends. And we respectfully request that Mr. Mitchell continue to support the National Chimney Sweep Guild and make himself available from time to time to give service to his fellow chimney professionals.
Diane read it.
Sure you can, absolutely, please. Just humor it, yeah. Here. I love that. Yeah, it's awesome. Look over here. I don't.
Don't forget to come tomorrow night, rock out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It is my honor to present this resolution from the National Chimney Sweep Guild, Mr. Jay Walker. Whereas Jay Walker is an active and contributing, committed, and long-term member of the National Chimney Sweep Guild. Whereas Mr. Walker has given generously of his time, talents, and energies to work with his fellow board members as a cohesive team to strengthen the American chimney service industry and benefit his fellow chimney sweeps by serving as a member of the National Chimney Sweep Guild Board of Directors for the period of February 2010 through February 2015. Whereas Mr. Walker has taken a very real interest in the growth of membership in the National Chimney Sweep Guild and has been an excellent representation of the member companies in Region 3 and as ex officio, at times serving as an example to other regional directors. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Directors of the National Chimney Sweep Guild, on behalf of each and every member, gratefully acknowledge Mr. Walker and his many valued contributions to his industry and his guild, over time through his knowledge of governance, bylaws, and procedures, and notes with regret his departure from the board. Be it further resolved that the Board of Directors wishes Mr. Walker great personal success, future happiness, a long and wonderful life with his wife Candy, and may he have time to enjoy his hunting and traveling, and we respectfully request that Mr. Walker continue to support the National Chimney Sweep Guild and make himself available from time to time to be of service to his fellow chimney professionals. Thank you very much, sir.
Diane Pilger. Whereas Diane Pilger is an active, contributing, committed, and long-term member of the National Chimney Sweep Guild. Whereas Ms. Pilger has given generously of her time, talents, and energies to work with her fellow board members as a cohesive team to strengthen the American chimney service and to benefit her fellow chimney sweeps by serving as a member of the National Chimney Sweep Guild Board of Directors for the period of March 2006 through February 2015. Whereas Ms. Pillager has shown a real interest in the growth of membership in the National Chimney Sweep Guild and has been an excellent representative of the member companies at large, at times serving as an example of the directors. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Directors of the National Chimney Sweep Guild, on behalf of each and every member, gratefully acknowledge Ms. Pillager and her many valued contributions to her industry and her guild. She will always be remembered as a hospitality empress and worldwide friends to show off for, and notes with regret her departure from the board because she never turned off her mother button, calling to remind directors to book their rooms and flights. Be it further resolved that the Board of Directors wishes Ms. Pillager great personal success, future happiness, a long, wonderful life with her family. And may she have time to travel the Chimney world, and we respectfully request that Ms. Pillager continue to support the National Chimney Sweep Guild and make herself available from time to time to be of service to the chimney profession. Just one.
Okay, so now we're going to see. Great. Okay. Okay, so we'll move on, and now we'll seat the new directors for Region 1. We've got Michael Elliott. Wait,
You can pull a chair out.
At large, we have Dennis Dobbs. Dennis in here? You can sit wherever you like, my friends. There you go. Supplier director. We have Chris Attila Wiles.
Yes.
Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Hey. Let's see here. And then we have an appointment of a new Region 2 director, which we've appointed Ed Ridgway. That was the vacancy. Since the appointment, since it's an appointment, why don't we make a motion to accept my decision of Ed filling the Region 2 director spot. Do I have a motion? Kevon, seconded by Jasper. All in favor? Opposed? Hey, all right. Yeah, I know, right? All right. Congratulations. Okay. Hey.
I want to get the new director.
Absolutely. Anything?
Say, we pick up Jake's
Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Moving forward. Everything? Okay. So before we start planning the next board meeting, is there any other new business? I think Jim, staff had some. Stand up, Jim. Let's see it.
Okay, something that just came down the pipe about a week or two ago. In Virginia, there's a special licensing for doing contractor work. And I was not aware of this, but they have an alternative energy license. And somebody in Richmond, or just south of Richmond, was coming up for renewal and found out that pellet stoves and biomass fuel do not qualify as green or alternative energy. And so got a hold of NFI. NFI jumped in, called me because of the involvement in the apprenticeship program. In turn, I called Ashley and asked him to sit in on the next meeting. But we've got all this momentum going now to go back to the Department of Professional Occupation and Regulation in Richmond to try and get a special licensing for alternative energy, and to have that include biomass like wood stoves, pellet stoves, and so forth. It's something that I'd like the NCSU to be aware of from a lobbying standpoint.
I do, when you're done, I have some additional comments on that. I've been talking to HBPA.
Oh, good, good, go ahead.
Okay, I accidentally skipped this in my report, but if you look at the marketing report, I do mention this, and then there is an additional report from Ashley Eldridge discussing this as well. We are working as the NCSG with the Southeast HBPA for Virginia, and Cindy Wise. Membership will be getting a mailing right when we get back from convention. Just a little bit about the issue, what we're trying to do, and just a general survey. We're trying to collect some information based on what licenses they have in Virginia, what they're working under, and what kind of certifications they have, whether they additionally have NFI certifications, CSI certifications, to kind of see what people are doing now, because it seems like in Virginia, there's not a really good fit for licensing. So that's what we're trying to determine, and I'll get all that information back to Cindy. Well, she compile it, we'll kind of determine next steps, but they will receive that both as a hard copy in the mail and as a SurveyMonkey link in their email, so they can just do it real quick.
Any other comments on that?
Got a question.
Fire.
Does the NFDI question any of this? National Pellet Fuel.
Is that a division of the FBI?
The National Pellet Fuel is,
Oh, really? Okay.
they're the ones that test the product. They're the ones that test the pellets and certify.
Awesome.
So you might want to see if they've got anything to say.
I think they're coordinated with HBA.
And NFDI? What's on it?
I'm sorry, I'm thinking BFI. Yeah, sorry. BFI.
National Pellet Fuels Institute. They're the ones that test any member that wants to join their organization
I think that is.
and use their logo. They have to send monthly samples in to be tested.
You're talking about pellet manufacturers.
Right. Yeah. They have to be tested and they have to meet certain things. So that might be an area that you might want to research.
Good idea.
National Pellet Fuel.
Okay. Any other new business? All right. Go over the events that the board needs to make sure they're at and attend, and then our daily coordination about this. On the coordination about
Yeah.
this. Anybody have any questions on that?
So green tomorrow.
Raining tomorrow.
Green, white, pink.
That's with one G.
So green shirt tomorrow, white shirt, then tan shirt, and then Saturdays open day. So wherever you want. Or whatever you do.
And tonight, you have various committee meetings that start at 6 o'clock. There's a schedule outside the office and also on your app. You can download that. Tomorrow is the opening night at TELUS 360. That starts at 7 p.m. TELUS is right next door.
And what?
Unfortunately, it's right next door. So come to that. Wear your shirt.
Is it?
No, you don't have to.
Wear what you want.
Thursday is the new member and new sweep reception at 6 to 7:30. That's in the Montgomery House, which is inside this hotel. It's the kind of historic looking building or rooming house. It's downstairs. So we'll be there from 6 to 7:30. The international guests are also invited to that, so they will be there as well.
Right after right after the membership meeting, after CSIA membership meeting tomorrow is the group photo, correct?
Group photo at 12:15.
And that's gonna happen on the big staircase.
Right outside.
Right, and they're gonna throw Bloom up on a lift real fast, and
Yes.
he's gonna click a couple of quick pictures, so everybody can get lunch.
I would request that all of the board members, all board members need to come to the front and find me so I can get you guys all together in a group this year. So when you come down, just make your way to the front. You'll find me. I scream very loud, so.
Okay, fine.
Stand together.
Right, we need to stand
Stay together.
Stand up front, so. Okay, and the committee meetings this evening, so make sure you check all that stuff, make sure you're at wherever you need to be, so. Okay, so,
Ashley.
oh, Ashley,
Somebody from room 718, we have your keys here.
Don't.
is it a nice room?
No.
Is it available Friday?
Next board meeting will be the annual planning meeting to be conducted in Plainfield, Indiana. Determination of dates. We got a cheat sheet. Me and Francis actually went over that. We picked some decent dates.
What we were looking at,
Right.
probably the first week, or I'm sorry, we looked at like the 11th, 12th of May.
Right. So May 11th, so is that the whole race weekend thing?
No, that would be, if you got down into here.
Okay, so
24th is the race.
okay, so our first election was, which is a week earlier than what it was last year. Then I'm assuming because I think that was race week. Is Monday the 11th through Wednesday the 13th. Is that it? Yeah. And then basically, isn't that the one we overlap and meet with CSIA? Mark?
I think so, yeah.
So obviously, we'll have a little bit more say with the next meeting, but I'd like everybody to kind of look at it here so we can kind of start that ball rolling. So anybody have any objections to that week? I don't see anybody looking at the calendar right now.
Mother's Day.
Mother's Day is the 10th.
That's the 10th.
Yes.
Perfect day to travel.
Oh, yeah. What a big
Indianapolis. Yeah, it's an
No,
overlap.
wait, a train?
11, 12, 13.
Okay.
Yeah, you would travel on Sunday the 10th, and then.
Mother's Day. Just letting you know.
Yeah.
This is all intentional, Steve.
What's that?
This is all intentional, Steve. We're just trying to make every mother angry out there. So. The other option is what the following week is that we looked at.
It is, yeah, I mean, but the only issue with that is that's right before race.
Right.
Room nights get tougher the later you get it today.
Right.
It's really.
So it's
all
never
money.
convenient. 100%. It's never convenient every single day. So I mean, fly out a little bit later on Sunday if you need be. Do your Mother's Day thing. Saturday evening, what have you. I mean, I've got a mother to take care of as well, guys. So.
She had a plane.
I would like asking, I have on my calendar the 11th, 12th report writing. Is that the advertised time?
Okay. So those dates are in there.
Still like the way it is.
So let's look at the.
Do the earlier.
Now, are you sure about that? Because you and me talked about this.
What's wrong with May 4th?
Dates.
For me, on May, the Oregon meeting ends on Sunday the 3rd. The HPBA Pacific starts on Monday, which I've never been able to do.
So let's look at race week then.
But the end of
That's when you did it last year, so.
All right, so let's look at race week. I mean, it worked last year for everybody. Let's look at it again this week, 18th, 19th, and 20th. Okay? Perfect. Yeah, well, and we will. We're gonna go ahead and block off the room, so if anybody has a problem with those dates, let us know, because we will literally block the rooms.
Well, they.
It's gonna overlap. We typically overlap.
So you're getting any graduation dates.
Yeah, we can. It's fine.
You're getting any-
Second half of the week.
I mean, usually it's Chimney first and then yeah.
Getting into graduation.
So we're gonna do 20th, 21st, and 22nd, I guess.
You guys are doing the 20th?
Well, that's when we overlap. You guys will essentially, you guys will do the 18th, 19th, or 20th.
14, 15. So then I gotta be.
So.
You guys here are.
Well, I mean, that'll get talked about at the next one. I mean, I mean, this isn't like concrete. I mean, we're gonna make a motion.
The week before is better for us that we're talking about, but I think we can make the 18th.
Well,
There's a class.
there's a class there.
Class.
Yeah, because I'm better the week before as well. So, yeah, I got you.
Couldn't they do that class during CSIA?
It would work
The
better.
class may not happen, we can more easily reschedule.
Do you have any attendees signed up for that class right now?
Wow.
What's the class?
It's the inspection and report running in May.
It wasn't held last year either.
Right.
So I'll tell you what, we'll keep our dates on the 20th through the 22nd mark, and then during your meeting, if you guys want to reschedule that class, it's totally going to be on you guys,
Would
right?
would you be okay if we did move it, if we decided to move?
Sure. Yeah, I think everybody's cool right here. It's just, I just heard a couple of concerns about Mother's Day, so.
Okay.
No.
Budget extra for spouse gifts next year.
The raise.
No, I was still talking about the first one you talked about. Which was the 11th through the 15th.
Right.
That's right.
But you guys would be okay 11th, 12th, 13th, and we overlap on the 13th, and take 13th, 14th, 15th.
I'm cool with that, yep.
All right, I'll see what our board says.
So sure you don't take the late.
Quick.
All right.
Totally done.
Okay.
Determination of summer cycle.
Oh, okay, so we're, okay, so we're looking at May 11th through the 13th. So you travel on the 10th. And then usually the last day, if you catch a 5 o'clock or later flight, we're usually pretty good. So, okay. And then moving further with that, determination of dates for the summer budget meeting at the Tech Center.
We typically do them in August.
So Tech Center got things going on in August, Ashley.
We have a Chimney physics class, the 10th and 11th, and then the Chimney training school the week of 24th.
Well, then we got an issue too.
That's down here.
Okay. So I think that was the one we were determined very first school. Correct.
I think last year, you guys, well, we don't have times at the same time, but it's like the week of August 3rd.
I mean, I'm cool with flying in on the 2nd. I kind of like flying on the weekends rather than during the weekdays. Everybody okay with that? So let's just tentatively go ahead and put it down for the 2nd through the 5th. Yep.
Yeah.
Is
there anything that, since we're not here for this year now, should we change the budget?
No. It's a day and a half.
Oh, day and a half meeting? Okay.
Yeah.
In that case. Well, would anybody rather? Yeah, let's just go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and do the 2nd through the 4th. 3rd and 4th, we're going to travel on the 2nd. Okay. So it's August 3rd and 4th. Okay, with those dates. You can use the call it anyway. So what was the other one that one before? Day 13th. And do we have anything lined up for training on that between the two associations?
Not as yet.
Okay, so we're looking into training on day 3, right?
Yes.
Okay. Report writing, right. Okay, so I think that's it. Anything else? Okay, Motion to adjourn?
Wait.
Sorry, I didn't see you raise your hands earlier. What's up?
I'd just like to encourage everybody to, encourage folks to come to the auction, CSI benefit auction on Friday night. Doors open at 7:30. Bidding starts at 8. We've got some really cool stuff this year. Also want to encourage you to come over to the silent auction, the sweeps week silent auction. And one of the big things, the tech center donated a container with the air that was taken out of the football. But the Colts took out of the football.
Hey, wait a minute.
The Patriots game. So, but please come if anybody has anything to donate to the auction. Any individuals have anything to donate to the auction. Please bring it to know we've got a special container for football. No, but if you do have anything to donate, please bring it down the night of the auction when we open the doors for the registration.
I was going to say, Sweet Week will have booths, so if there's anything for Sweet Week auction, you can actually bring it to the trade show and do it ahead of time.
And it is winter. It is in Pennsylvania, and we've got some special plans too. So let's see there.
Okay.
Go Pirates. That was a pirate.
Any other announcements? Any other new business? Okay. That being said, motion to adjourn. That'll be Dennis Dobbs.
Second.
Chris is going to second it. All in favor? Aye. Thank you guys. Everyone.
Tomorrow,
Tomorrow. Green, white, green, white, tan.
I know he.
Anything else I need to officially do? Get all my notes down.
Probably like.
I've been saying it for a while.